Portland, Oregon.
Oh, Portland, Oregon, even better.
Hell yeah, it is. No offense to all you LA folks out there. Yeah. It's not my bag,
Well, unfortunately, it's where the job takes me. I am in LA.
Yeah, there's cool pockets. There's good stuff.
Definitely, they have it's over in Pasadena area, so it's not a bad area to live.
It's like going to Rome. Like you go alone, and you're like, man, that is kind of not that great. And then you go with someone who knows all the stuff, and then it's amazing.
Isn't that the truth? That's awesome.
I disagree. I think Rome's amazing.
Mm-hmm. I had a soft-boiled egg for breakfast. It was lovely.
All right, guys. We are live again. To everyone that's just tuning back into the live stream, I totally kicked my computer. So, lesson learned. I'm going to be moving that. Like, totally spazzed. And yeah, I am so sorry. But yeah, something about a boiled egg. What?
Don't worry about it. No, nothing.
Okay.
So Kenna, just a word of advice, right? So for the future, move that computer because when the MOAS happens, I don't want to be the one in your position if your computer shuts down during that.
Well, thankfully, I have all of those on my phone, so I think I'm safe in that sense. But yes, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna be moving that. Like that was. I am so sorry.
That's great.
I got so excited. Like I was really getting all nice and comfortable again to be like listening in and totally kicked my computer. So yeah, here we go, guys.
Here we are. And here we are now. All right.
Okay, Dave, you want to? Tech support. You want to hop on number 5?
Yes, the tech support guy will ask the question. So I want to piggyback of Rogue's previous question about. This situation we're in, we find ourselves in with the influx of the retail investors, the dumb apes. Some of us like to call ourselves, and frankly, media has called us that as well at some point. What change have you kind of seen so far that has inspired you? And then what changes would you like to see come from this movement? What are you expecting? What is your message out actually to the movement that's coming out here?
I mean, to a degree, that's going to be dictated by the community, right? Like our whole film is we want to make the film that you guys want to see and want to answer the questions that you all want to answer. But in short, we want to see the retail investor have a level playing field with some of these institutional players, and that doesn't one person alone won't have the power of an institution, of a hedge fund, right? But all of us apes do have that kind of power. And if we don't see change in how we have transparency in our markets and the ability for these people to make closed doors deals and literally break the law without consequence, has to change. That just needs to.
Yeah.
So the specifics of that, we're not necessarily the ones that should dictate that, right? We're going to interview experts. We're going to interview apes, ape community leaders, whatever. It's kind of our job to tell the story and get it and hone that narrative. So we want to see broadly fundamental change in the inner workings of the market and more transparency so that the retail investor isn't just there to be profited from as they are now, that they actually have the tools to make the same kind of decisions and have the same kind of advantages as our institutional players in the markets.
Right. I think it's also important for me that people recognize that this same sort of mindset, Apes Together Strong, it can be applied beyond this. If this group is so diverse, there's so many political backgrounds, people from all over the world coming together for one unique cause. It's something that can be applied towards other issues that might be affecting all of us behind the scenes. So it's that message of Apes Together Strong really is not just our title; it's our thesis.
Yeah, well, it's like you think about it. Like in talking to everybody, there's some people with political backgrounds that I would have never talked to in daily life. But watching all these people come together, the most important thing in that regard is that we're building empathy. There isn't a lot of that in our world these days, and it's been really pretty fascinating to watch these empathy build between people in a similar situation. You know, we're galvanized against one kind of dark and murky enemy. It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? So, I mean, this state we're in today, you know, and it's basically it's a granular situation because of AMC and GME, because a lot of people jumped on it, and it kind of started a movement. And AMC is a little bit more attractive just because of the price point. I mean, you can buy a stock for $13-14, right? And obviously it was much cheaper. Did the AMC and GME, these two stocks, start the process for your documentation? Could you kind of talk to me about a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in, like, I was on part of Wall Street Bets before all this, and I had been kind of following the deep fucking values plays, and in January it got, oh, sorry if I killed your YouTube algorithm, I'm sorry. We got in January, and we started with GameStop, and then found out about AMC's situation shortly after. So we've been holding both since pretty early on.
Nice.
You know, compared to some people, but yeah, we've been holding since, you know, near the start. Through the dips, 801, all the way down to 40.
Oh man.
Yeah, pretty rough.
So would you guys call yourselves like proper investors? Like, have you guys been in the stock market for a while? Or is it just because of these two stocks that you guys have sort of come on the scene? Like, have you guys been investing for a long time?
No, I read like audio books to be like, you know, I'm gonna learn how this stuff works, and then never did. And like, it was a catalyst to like finally just say, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna jump into this.
Got it.
But
Okay.
no, we don't know what the hell we're doing at all. But that's what's cool about this is, right, is like over these last 5 months, starting with knowing nothing to probably actually understanding more about trading and technical analysis than a lot of people, you know, twice our age, whatever, 3 times our age, they're probably dead. But like, you know, it's fascinating, and part of that is because of the community and places like, you know, YouTube and Superstock or Discord, where they are sharing this information and learning together. Like, it's not all good and it's not all correct, but that's kind of part of it too, right?
Learning together. And there might be people who now, instead of dumping all their money into a sort of ambiguous 401k, they may be deciding, hey, you know what? I know enough about this to make my own choices for my own money.
Yes.
Instead of massive companies do it for me.
So great.
Potentially work towards a goal that I want no part of. So you can vote with the dollar this way. You can have more control over it this way. And you have more power generally in our society this way.
That's really a good point, actually. It's like a mutual fund or whatever, 401k. They might be investing in, you know, an oil company. And let's say you totally disagree with what oil companies do. Yeah. It's like now you may be empowered enough with this, like, even like, you know, pretty rudimentary knowledge of how the market works, but you can pick what you want to support. And I think that's part of this new investor, right? The ape investor. They like the stock. They like the company. Like, we all like movies. Love video games, grew up going to GameStop. We're buying and holding forever, or whatever it is, whatever your play, but like,
it's all personal choice.
It's a personal thing. Yeah, do whatever the hell you want. We're not financial advisors, blah, blah, blah. But like, it's pretty great to see people being empowered and given the knowledge to kind of make their own decisions and take control of their own financial future in a way that I think a lot of these people wouldn't have done had they not jumped in on a gamble.
I'd actually like to add on to that. So I was actually reading an article a couple of weeks ago that it's come out that we actually do more deep dives into the market as retail investors than the traders on Wall Street do. It was actually pretty fascinating that, you know, they kept calling us, you know, dumb, or, you know, we don't know what we're talking about or anything like that. And I think it was in the Wall Street Journal or something of that matter, actually came out and said that we actually provide a lot more information about the market and understand the workings of the market more now than ever before. And so I thought that was pretty interesting that, you know, I think Wall Street Bet has what's like 9 million people, and there's like 220 some odd thousand on other subreddits. And so I think as a collective, we're all starting to actually get a grasp and a handle on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, when the GME shakeup happened, our GME, you saw about 150,000 people migrate over to Superstonk in like one night or something crazy. Like these people that are interested in this are galvanized, right? Like they're moving together, and not in a way that where the media might spin it like it's market manipulation. Like they're learning together, you know? It's great to see.
The ongoing joke that we have here, right, is the fact that back in January, everybody was like GME to 1,000, ape bananas and so on. And now you have people going like, yeah, according to the newest SEC filing from the DTCC, we see that, people's knowledge has just infinitely grown since that time frame. And something that I think is going to drastically change is the fact that you now have all of a sudden all these people that have become financially literate. This to me is everything aside is going to be such a huge difference, right?
And these people have kids that are watching them do it, and they're seeing their parents or their brothers or whatever taking part, right? And I think that the knock-on effects of this, hopefully, if we continue this, will have generational effects as well.
Oh, I already see it happening with my students.
Oh, definitely.
I will mention it, or it comes up or something, or I accidentally have the wrong ticker up on my Zoom with my students, and they're, how are your stonks doing today? And they're asking questions, and they're actually telling me about their investments into crypto. I mean, it is mind-boggling what these kids are able to do now, and they're 16, 17, 18. And like you said, the amount of financial literacy that is happening right now is huge. And
it's great. Hopefully, schools with electives, where you can, there's paper trading or whatever it is. Like, cool.
Yeah. So I think maybe this might be kind of a great time to actually show the clip for your documentary. So
yeah, hit it.
Yeah. So if you want to watch it, those who are inside our Discord, if you want to watch it, you can go up to the Trade Talk chat and go ahead and click it. And then Kenna is going to go ahead and show it on our live stream. So when she gets back, we'll continue our conversation.
Yep. All right, guys.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, because for those that don't know how broadcasting works, if we end up talking in the stage area, it will come through over the video, just so you guys know. So if we just want to take 3 minutes and 34 seconds to enjoy this, like, goosebump promo.
Yes.
I'd appreciate it. All right.
Ignition sequence start. 6.
My name is Finley Mulligan, and this is my twin and creative partner, Quinn Mulligan. We want to make an honest documentary about what's happening with the squeeze. You may have seen my post asking all of you what you'd like to see covered. So we read through each and every one of your comments, and this is what we've heard. 2008 matters. The greed and corruption that caused the financial collapse hasn't gone anywhere. No one's learned any lessons, and we certainly haven't forgotten. And fast forward to 2020. A global pandemic has highlighted the disparity between the richest among us and the majority. Their wealth increased by more than $1 trillion, while most of us lost our jobs. And they call you dumb money.
Should I buy 6,000 shares of Penn National Gaming, right? And then the 8 Ball tells me what to do. My reply is no.
Enter Keith Gill. Roaring Kitty focuses on GameStop, and in doing so, catches some of Wall Street's biggest hedge funds with their dicks in the wind.
As for me, I like the stock.
He did his due diligence, and the rest of us caught on.
GameStop!
Some 28% of Americans, and millions more across the world, bought into GameStop at one point. Now, some did it because they were bored of the pandemic, some wanted to get back for 2008, and some wanted to escape the grind that's given them nothing but debt, poor health, and no prospects, all while greedy hedge funds can profit off of driving a company like GameStop into the ground. The best thing about this is its simplicity. All we had to do was buy and hold stock in a company we believed in. And when we did, the stock price shot up. But they couldn't handle it.
We have come dangerously close to the collapse of the entire system.
They had to change the fucking rules.
It required us to restrict the buying of these securities.
But one thing they didn't count on is just how dumb our money really is.
Would you buy their stock now at roughly 45? For me personally, yes.
We didn't sell. This story's just getting started. And if we don't tell it ourselves, someone else is going to tell it for us. See, we want to ask the questions that you all want answers to. Like, why is the media dead focused on condescending to retail investors when they should be focused on the corruption on Wall Street? Why aren't we talking about naked short selling? Why isn't the SEC doing anything about failure to delivers? We can't make this film without your support. We're not Netflix, we're not Amazon, we're not trust fund babies. If we raise the funds for this thing within the community, we won't be beholden to anybody else's money. No one's going to tell us what to say or how to say it. If you're as stoked as we are about this project and want to see this film happen, give us an upvote. If you don't want this film to happen and think we're full of shit, give us a downvote. Or if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. We'll do our best to answer each and every one of them. You know, we won't make this thing unless you all want it to be made. We'll be putting our website down below as well. Check that out. And our fundraising campaign will begin in the next few weeks here. So stay tuned and remember,
So yeah, I just have to say that, like, I guess for me and my personal take on what you guys are doing, like, I am just, I guess, geeking out over here because, like, I do a lot of videography, and so what you guys have captured and, like, just how you guys have put it together and what you guys are seeing between 08 and everything with this, and just the clips that you guys are finding, I was enthralled by it. Like, I was so excited.
Yeah, I'm blown away.
Do you
And I
feel that?
also-
Sorry, go ahead, man.
I also want to say that it's a great thing that you guys are doing. You're giving the little kids a seat at the big kids' table.
the thing is, we're big kids, just treated like little kids. That's some hogwash.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, I
I-
didn't see it, but I did air quotes for the little kids.
Oh yeah, cool. Just a quick question. On the YouTube stream, it seemed like you were playing the original video. Was I watching the wrong thing?
I can totally play the other one. I thought we were playing the hype video. I can play the other one if you want me to. I didn't know if you wanted that one out as well because I know it had a lot of people in it. I am so game for that because I like that one too.
Yeah, we can do it later. No
Okay.
big deal at all.
Okay, yeah, I can do it at the end. I will get it pulled up and ready to go. And
All right, so I guess in the meantime, I have one last question for you before maybe we turn to our audience that's listening right now. So for all the apes who are listening here and then on our live stream, what would you like to say to them? What is something you want to say to them? What's your message?
Sorry, one more time.
That's okay. I think for all the apes who are listening, everybody on our live stream and inside our Discord, what is it that you want to say to them? To the apes.
Audio. Go. I don't know. I mean, honestly, it really is that, like, we're making this film to tell all of our story. Your story, our story. We're apes, just like you. You know, there's nothing special other than the fact that these are the tools that we have to help support the cause and everyone with the mission of, you know, getting a fair shake on Wall Street.
Yeah, and you know, it's important that people realize these human stories to us are really important. They're underdescribed in a lot of the facets of our, you know, society, and it's important that people know that across all these different groups of people, the basic story is the same for many of us. And we hope that this may, in some small way, help people realize that we're struggling through a lot of the same issues, and we have the power to enact some real change, not only for ourselves, but for all the people in different social groups that may be experiencing the same thing.
Well, thank you so much. That's well put and very inspirational. And I think everybody really, we're all here for a reason, right? We all have our own reasons for being here, but we also have the same goal, right? To make change. Thank you guys so much for at least answering our scripted questions, if you will. Sorry. Why don't we go ahead and take some audience questions, if you guys don't mind. So if you're in our Discord right now, you can use like the raise hand button and ask for permission to speak, and we'll go ahead and send it over to you. Bring you back up. All right. If Shark.
If Shark, avoid. Oh. Did he just bounce? Oh, hey, there he is.
Hey guys, can you guys hear me?
Hello. Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to comment, a couple things. First off, everybody in this Discord that's speaking, I appreciate you guys 110%. I go to Twitter just about every hour just to see what you guys are saying. Just keep me updated while I'm at work. Another thing, AMC is at like 14.20 right now, so in aftermarket hours, we're looking pretty strong for tomorrow. So that's pretty exciting to look at that we're over the 14 marks, psychologically in your head. And the third thing is, if we're wanting to make a video clip of like me and my coworkers, because we're all milk carriers, and we're all the hell in on AMC right now. And so if we was the one to make a video clip, how would we be able to do that?
So we have an online portal. Can you guys hear me? So yeah, we have a page on ApesTogetherStrongDoc.com. We can link it down in the chat. You can submit videos there. The main thing with a group video is we need to have releases for everybody to actually be able to use it. So hit us up in an email, and with everyone CC'd on it, that's in the video, and we can send out releases to everybody on their own, I guess. Yeah, so we need permission to use your likeness. Yeah, it's like in the portal on our website, you basically click a box that says, "Yeah, we can use your video," and you won't sue us. So it's just our kind of legal thing we have to do if we want to get this thing released.
And the link is also in the Trade Talk chat. I put it in there. I added everyone.
Nice, thanks, Rob.
Of course.
Everybody's shy.
All right. So does anyone else?
Yeah.
Anyone got a question? Just put your hand up. We want to hear from everyone.
We want
I-
to talk to you.
We want to talk to you.
I will ask. Can I ask a technical question?
Oh yeah,
For
we
sure.
love those. We're nerds.
What kind of cameras are you guys going to be using in like editing software?
Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. We might do the 6K Pro as our A cam. It depends on the budget. If we get a large, if we get like
on the budget.
Yeah. So that's what we're starting with, because they're, for the quality, they're very inexpensive. But we'd love to get an Alexa if we can. But we're probably going to be going Blackmagic for pretty much everything, and including DaVinci Resolve for the cut.
That's awesome. Yeah, I actually got to play with the Blackmagic cameras. I had one and recently sold it because I wasn't using it for what it really needed to be intended for. It was still the 8mm camera, so it wasn't the 4K, but it was the 1080. Oh my goodness, just what I did get to capture and shoot around with was just incredible. Yeah.
They're wonderful cameras.
If any of you work for Blackmagic, we'd love to be sponsored. Yeah.
Hey, everyone that's in the chat.
Yeah, I was just going to say there's some questions.
Someone put your hand up. Trust me.
So
Rank username.
Yeah, I've seen you on Twitter actually.
Just feeding them bantha poodoo on the side there.
So there are some questions in the actual.
Hold on.
Well, I think
do have
Rancor
Ryder.
Rider's got a
We have,
question.
yep, Rancor
Oh.
Rider.
Sorry.
Hey guys, thanks so much for coming. Just a quick question. I know apes don't like dates, but I'm just wondering what is kind of like the time frame outline of the doc? I can only imagine we're just waiting for the squeeze and all that. We don't know when it's gonna happen. But I can
Yeah.
imagine there's also so much more interviews you gotta do. You you have to interview Adam and everyone else. But are you guys planning to do like? I can only imagine right now we're in an epilogue stage of the documentary. The squeeze is going to be the climax, and I guess we're also going to probably wait for after the squeeze. What are we going to do? How are we going to change the world after this? So yeah, I'm just wondering about that. Thanks so much.
Yeah. The timeline, like the question that people keep saying, like, well, how are we going to make a documentary if the squeeze hasn't closed? And the reality is we have to start capturing stories now, and so much has already happened that we need to capture and suss out and organize and research. I mean, it's going to be a full-time job. So where we're at now is we're about to start our fundraising phase. That'll be 30 days, and then we kick into full-on pre-production. So that's like a mind-boggling amount of research, hiring crew, travel, organizing, all the behind-the-scenes filmy stuff that it takes to create a movie, right? And then after that, it'll go into production. And we're hoping to wrap shooting and then actually finish the edit before the end of the year, which, fingers crossed, is plenty of time for something to pop.
Yeah.
But it's like we've heard kind of through the grapevine that Netflix is going to have theirs released in January or so. So we'd love to beat them to the punch. But it really just depends. I mean, if we end up getting a distributor, they might have a time period when they want it released. So like there's all kinds of things that are up in the air.
It's very important for us to tell the complete story.
Yeah, however, that's the main kind of thing is we're going to start now, but we really will do everything in our power to like wait until this thing is concluded, or a sequel maybe, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that happens after this. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It'll be kind of wild to find out when we want to stop, but that's something that we'll be bringing up with the crew and the community as well. We want to go back and forth with you guys as we're making the film and be totally transparent. So rough timeline or hopeful timeline, I'd say, would be to finish shooting sometime late summer to fall and then finish the cut by the end of the year.
Any plans?
It might be at an AMC theater.
That'd be great. We would love to. Like we love our independent cinemas as well. Like we don't want to leave them out of things, but we would, to not have it premiere at AMC's or go to AMC's or whatever. It sounds like a crazy town, but I'm sure we can work something out. I'm bullish on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say sure, but bullish is good.
Bullish is good. I'll take it.
Are you guys? Have you guys tried to reach out to Adam Aaron directly and see if his PR team wants to maybe partner with you?
Yes, we have reached out.
Okay, so you're leaving it a secret, or?
Yes. Nothing definitive, nothing conclusive. But we have reached out, and it's something we're actively pursuing. I'll leave it at that.
That's exciting.
So awesome.
What's that, Ryder?
Follow up. Are you guys confident you guys can do this movie in under 2 hours, or do you think maybe this could be something episodic, like it 10
has crossed our mind. It's kind of budget dependent, right? Like like episodic things that have 8 episodes or whatever. It's just more time and more money and time spent in post production. So it really just depends on budget and bandwidth. But for now, we're planning on doing a film. When we're done with our fundraise, we're going to actually take a step back and look at both of the formats and decide what's right. But the other thing is, if we have a distributor that wants a feature film, like that's another conversation to have. But right now, it's a movie with an open end.
So we do have another
Besides,
question. Sorry.
I got so many questions. I'll just step back. But the other one is, what else can we do as Apes besides fundraising on that, reaching out to celebrities or CEOs or certain people? What else can we do to help out?
It's just sharing it, like talking about it, telling your friends, getting people to sign up. Like we have a mailing list at ApesTogetherStrongDoc.com. We have our Twitter, and if just getting the more people we can see following us, it just makes a better case to bigger platforms to show the film. It's like
and larger, people to talk to in the film.
Yeah.
So if we have 50,000 followers on Twitter, it's more likely we're going to get, someone like Chance the Rapper to come talk to us, or other people that are bullish on AMC or involved in GME.
It adds clout, those numbers, it's kind of silly, but it matters.
Did you guys see the recent one, the recent celebrity? Rampage Jackson?
I have no idea who that is.
I saw a tweet.
Is that what it is?
I saw a tweet of him.
Was he on a rampage?
What about
No.
what's her name? Elaine Hendricks. She's quite active with the AMC, promoting AMC. Have you talked to her? Reach out?
No, we've not reached out to her yet. But we're down to talk to. We'll talk to anybody, really. I mean, it's a careful balance, right? Of like, yeah, you want promotion, you want celebrities, but you also don't want to just hit these people up and be like, hey, can you pump our film? So you also have to be able to add something to the narrative as well. So we need to make sure that to be clear, not that she doesn't.
Exactly.
Generally speaking,
for sure.
It's so we don't want to just spam these people. If it happens organically, that's one thing, or if the group really wants it, that's one thing. But we'll take any help and publicity we can get. But honestly, right now we're focused mostly on getting institutional people, that can add the other kind of side to this conversation. But we're totally open to it. We have nothing against these people, and we'd love all the support we can get. But we're trying not to just spam them, I guess is what it comes down to.
Inside of the channel, the text channel, and I just want to make sure, because it looks like I can't talk. It says, could you please ask the Mulligan brothers how their days look like, how they plan, work on the project? Is there anything we could do to support them? Which you kind of answered that. Can't talk. My wife is sleeping next to me. Best regards from Germany. Moas kommt. Kommt.
Moas kommt. Ja, sicher. Vielen Dank. Ja, für lieben Deutschland. Es ist sehr lang gewesen, seit ich auf Deutsch gesprochen habe. Also, tut mir leid, wenn es scheiße ist. I would say our days are like, the morning is all about, pre-market market. Like many of you, we can't sleep either. We're just like staring at that, and my wife hates it because my phone's on right next to her all the time. So it starts out there. We watch the ticker, and then just get into our daily agenda, right? So we say, okay, X, Y, and Z is something we're trying to do and accomplish by the end of the week. Where are we so far? And what's our goals for today? We divvy those out, and then just start hammering it, because it's just us two right now. So it's a lot. Yeah. So until we are able to hire a crew, it's just going to be kind of a bastard. So it's that, but through all of that, honestly, it's interacting with everybody, Twitter, Reddit, everything. It's a lot to keep up. Yeah. So in the midst of doing all of this, research and pre-production work, it's a matter of making sure we're building the community, building trust and empathy from us to you, and kind of just reinforcing the fact that we are apes.
Mm-hmm. So somebody asked, First Strike, I don't know, is your mic on? Can you talk? Because you asked a really nice question inside of the text chat. I'm not sure if you're able to unmute.
I wasn't able to earlier, but things have changed.
Yeah, go for it.
I was just wondering, how much you guys have been doing, on all the DD. Are you going to be able to put a lot of information inside the documentary? And for example, A. Tobit. I love A. Tobit. I mean, he does a great job. And I just caught on to the Infinite Loop by one of our own, Kenna. So I just wanted to see what you guys had thought about the DDs and all that stuff.
Okay, so we've been reading all of it since the beginning. We've been going through each of the subreddits as the transformations and migrations have happened, and we're still reading on all of the different subreddits as much of the DD as we possibly can. I'm going through both of Dr. Trimbath's books right now. We're a big part of this. Of course, we need to, at least at a cursory level, understand the mechanics behind everything that's happening. Our expertise is filmmaking. That's why we're going to interview a lot of folks who are experts in the market. So we don't want to claim that we are the smartest people in the room when it comes to any of this technical analysis or DD, but we're doing our best to read all of it if we can and understand it as best we can. And people like Dr. Trimbath have really great insight into all this as well. So, brother, you want to speak to the other
and
part?
to that end, David Lauer has agreed to be in the film, which is going to be a huge asset for understanding the technical sides of what's going on and market structure and technology. And then also Tobit has actually agreed to also play a role in the film. So he is absolutely going to be someone that we are learning from and relying on as kind of a technical advisor is what we'll end up crediting him as.
I would like to announce that we will be having Dr. Trimbath on the channel early June. If you guys would like to join us for that, that would be wonderful.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, just as long as, she's okay with sharing the spotlight. We don't want to distract from
her message
or what she's on your show to say. So,
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, let's explain that.
I wanted to invite you guys to it, just and you guys can actually talk to her and ask questions, kind of like what everyone's doing with you guys, and kind of just pick her brain that way.
Right on.
Super sweet lady. She'll, and then that particular question and answer is going to be more about financial literacy, how to invest wisely, and then I'm sure there's going to be a couple of questions in there that are talking about right now in the market. So.
Yeah, totally. That's great.
Yeah.
We do have another question from Untouchables. I'm putting them up to the chat right now.
Love all these questions.
Where did you go, Untouchable? There he is.
Yeah.
Or she.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, can hear you.
I'm not sure if you guys already touched on this or not, but I was wondering if you guys happen to have any merchandise that we could purchase or help promote to maybe try to help raise money for this this documentary.
Yeah, so we're going to have
first off, thank you. Hell yeah. So nice.
I'm glad you asked this question. How perfect. Definitely not a plan. So we're planning our crowdsourcing right now, and at this point, it looks like we're going to be doing it ourselves rather than go with the service. Not that those services aren't great, but they take a big chunk, like 10%, and we need as much as we can to make this film happen. So with that, our crowdfunding will involve rewards at different tier levels. We're going to have coffee mugs, T-shirts, stickers, and posters. The posters will be special prints, like hand-printed screen prints that we'll sign. We'll have backer-only T-shirts. And I think after the crowdfunding campaign, we'll probably release a few of these things to just be sold as merchandise. But they won't be, the T-shirt, for example, is going to be backer-only, so really exclusive. We'll have other items as well, but I think we'll probably release some different items for merchandise that we won't necessarily be able to get after the crowdfunding phase.
It's important to note that also all of these crowdfunding prizes or whatever, it's going to the film. It's going to the effort of making this thing happen. So however, we decided not to do a Kickstarter in the end. We're going to just do it ourselves despite the logistic headache, just because we want to make sure that everything you guys put in goes straight onto the screen. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Also, I don't know if
Amazing.
you're looking, but we touched 1450 there in the after hours on AMC.
I was gonna say, you guys, let's just take a moment.
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, it's it's watching a
Whoa, it's climbing. It's at 1464 now. It just jumped up in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I feel like we're watching this sporting event every night or every day, I should say.
There's no volume on this, which is indicative of shorts covering, which is a good thing for us.
And then if I could ask one more question, is there any
Absolutely.
way to sign up to be able to try to help in whatever way you can? I'm out of work right now, and I don't know if there's any way that I could help in any way, shape, or form. Is there any way to, I guess, try to get on board and be able to help out?
Totally. A couple you can. The best way I think honestly is joining our mailing list. If you go to ApesTogetherStrongDoc.com, you can join the mailing list there, and that's where we'll put calls out. Like our crowdfunding campaign, for instance, we sent our like rough draft of it, basically soft, like a soft launch out to everybody that's on our marketing list, so that we could, fix things and make sure it's like actually working properly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like we'll put calls out there first before we put them anywhere else, because the mailing list is kind of like the ultimate core people that are a part of the what we're trying to do. So I'd say if you want to help, the best place to find out for helping opportunities is there, or just hit us up over email, info@ApesTogetherStrongDoc.com, and be like, hey, I've got a particular set of skills.
We try and respond to everything.
Yeah.
Right on, guys. Thanks for everything you're doing. This is pretty damn cool. Proud to be a small part of it. Thanks again.
You're pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Do you think right now would be a good time to kind of show them what you guys did? Is it the video for the apes that you're wanting me to show?
Yeah, that's the one that's
Okay.
the most recent one, and it includes a lot of you all.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to also mention it's at 1480 right now.
Yeah, it's climbing. The GME's starting to pop up too.
All right, so we'll take 2 minutes and 20 seconds, real quick, and we'll just enjoy this little masterpiece too.
Oh.
So for those who are in speaker status, will you guys go ahead and mute your mics, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Social media platforms like Reddit, YouTube, and Twitter are leveling the playing field. I also want to say that I support retail investors' right to invest in what they want, when they want.
Manos de diamante, cabrones. Diamond hands.
I support the right of individuals to send a message based on how they invest.
I'm gonna do something I never do. Let's come out of my shell and talk about how I'm sick of injustice.
I don't believe that the story of this community has been told yet from an insider's perspective, and I think that's paramount to understand some of the culture and the social dynamics of what's really going on.
We are just tired of just surviving.
Not having to work 12-hour shifts.
Life has always felt like you couldn't win.
I'm here for my mother, my father, and my two brothers.
I'm a nobody, really. I'm a guy who just needs a win.
It's alarming how little we know about the inner workings of the market.
These events are part of a larger story about the intersection of finance and technology.
What we're trying to say here is that there are these shares that are just kind of floating around, being borrowed and being lent and lent again. We just know that there are more shares out there than the company had originally issued.
I decided I was going to get on YouTube and do some studying and do my own research.
I like to do my own due diligence. 9 to 5, opening bell, closing bell, I'm on stocks.
And you start seeing, other due diligence which is put out by other apes.
I ended up getting diagnosed with a terminal illness. I've got more love and support from the apes than a lot of people that I personally know.
I'm not doing this for myself, but I just wanna, fulfill the dreams of my mom.
Be able to build our own house.
Have that.
Just want to do the best for my family, my kids.
You feel like you're part of this fight. It just makes you feel good,
Because of this community, because of this movement, that we can help each other and become better.
To the hedge funds that are trying to screw over a company that we like, fuck you.
Very brilliantly done. I love it. And there's so many voices in it that I've heard throughout Twitter and through the Discords and stuff. And it's really fun to hear some of their voices. And
yes,
I think that, getting everybody's story out there, because that's something that needs to be heard. A lot of people are still in pain from 08 and 10 and 12 and
You mean every year?
15.
Every year.
God.
Yeah. 12, 11.
Yeah. Year 300 BC, 580.
Yeah, true. But I mean, it really, there's a lot of people that are still hurt from it, and they're not recovering from it. and they want that fighting chance, and this is the way they get their voices heard. And I think what you guys are trying to do is just incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, like I mean,
hey,
like I
your
said,
timing cannot be perfecter. I would say, if this is a word, because you guys are on and these stocks are going.
Yes,
This is
and
great.
it's $15. We're above $15
Whoa,
right now
are you
for
kidding
AMC.
me? I haven't
Yeah,
even
see what happens when you bring us on?
This is exciting.
We gotta have you on more then, don't
Yeah,
we?
we will. 1507. This is incredible.
GME is flying also. 183. It just hit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Starting to just go. That's cool. Yeah, that'd be really, really great if it happened while we're talking to you guys.
15.
Right?
15.
We're just going to keep you on just a little longer, okay?
I'm cool with that. We got a beer. We're kind of settling in here.
Yeah, I had to go start my own live just so that way I can capture that I'm in here with you guys right now. It'd be epic to watch the stock go crazy with you guys.
Yeah, that'd be pretty neato.
Neato. I like it.
I just wanted to bring it back to the Mulligan brothers and how you guys are doing this out of your own pocket, of just a good heart for the people, by the people, and with the people. It's hard, and there are 33 people that are listening in here as well. Just like it's not easy. The technicals that you have to go through, the funding, creating, obviously production is a big piece of it, like directing, creating a narrative, putting these things together. Like, how are you guys staying sane and still be able to get some sleep at night with all this, and the stock market, the way it's flying, man? It's at 1530 almost right now.
Yeah, it's going bonkers. Yeah,
The short answer is we don't.
We're not sane and we don't sleep. Like, honestly, like when we don't work on stuff, we like anxiety like ruins us. So we have to keep going like a shark. But yeah, in all honesty, it's like it is tough, and even like it's putting strain on relationships right now. So I have a full-time job outside of this, and this is very much a full-time job, and we oftentimes have to kind of jump on opportunities, so it's hard to even like plan a date night with my wife. Like it will take a toll, it does, but it's worth it for us. We really believe in what's happening. Like I honestly believe there's a paradigm shift happening in the way that our markets work. So I feel like as filmmakers, having started this, and we've made a promise to the community that we will make this film, so we will do literally everything we can to make sure we can do that.
We're pretty stubborn, and we tend to not make the best decisions for ourselves. So I think we're gonna put ourselves in harm's way to make this thing, but we're gonna get it done.
Yeah. If you find us dead in a ditch somewhere, just saying right now we're not suicidal.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you guys coming on here for sure, and just having a conversation with us. And this is the sort of community we're trying to build here is for the people, in a sense, which is, we're filling this place with whatever is needed for educating and bringing the community together. Not just like we call ourselves apes, but just anybody who's starting off new, who's a seasoned investor or whatever you want to call it, and bring you guys as well as guest speakers in here to grow the knowledge, grow the community, and just make it aware. Like, the mass effect of all of this has to be, look, you're not alone. We're in this together.
Yeah.
That's the sentiment across the board.
I mean, I feel like a lot of these people, a lot of us started off, this thing began feeling desperate and powerless, and now we are determined and powerful. And I think that's remarkable.
Well said.
Do we have more questions hanging around somewhere? We love answering questions. I love quizzes. Always love quizzes.
I love trivia.
You can do it. No, just kidding. You don't want to do that. Let's see. Is there anyone? Let me just double check in the chat. No, everybody's looking at the ticker.
We got Stonk Life.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself.
Why? Why does it do this? Okay, can someone else press the button? It's not working for me.
I got him. I just added him.
Oh, I got one. Okay, so Matty, sorry if I did that wrong. Is there a budget plan that will be transparent, documents the community can see where the funds will be applied? Yeah, that's a tough one. Maddie, thank you. So we're all about being transparent. So to that end, I'll say right now, this is not a nonprofit. Documentary very rarely makes any money. I'll just say that up front. We're not going to raise make this movie with as little funds as we can from the community to do it right? So we have our budget goals. We have ideas of what we want to raise. As it's a full-time job for all of the artists who will be working on it, those people will be paid. We don't believe in using artists' work without compensating them. I think too often in how things work, it's like, oh yeah, can you just do me a painting or whatever, and then you don't pay that person.
Oh, you play guitar, don't you want to play my wedding for free?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So it's very important to us that we pay the people working on the film, and whether or not the budget will be a transparent document for everyone to see really depends on, if we end up getting a distributor, that might not be something that like legally we can do. So there's a lot up in the air in regards to how we're going to go about that. And I don't know if that satisfies you, but we just want to be upfront with the fact that that might not be a reality, but that's where the trust building between us and the community will hopefully come into play. Like, doing this thing, we hope that you guys trust us with the story enough to let us tell it. So I hope that offers some clarity anyway. Well, we'll always be honest with you, if that helps. Says the stranger on the internet.
Definitely. All right, Stock.
Hello, strangers. Yeah. So I had a question in regards to kind of like the how you're looking at framing. So obviously you want to tell the stories of everyone involved, and I think that's a crucial aspect. But I assume you'll also be kind of telling the story of like how the financial markets got to where they're at and how governmental forces kind of shaped everything to where it's at currently to allow for this. Like basically the recipe to set this up. Like, are you going to have like governmental folks, industry professionals, and or people that analyze this stuff, like have them kind of say, hey, this is what's happening, et cetera, that kind of led to this, and then this is the community, or how are you looking at portraying that side of it?
So it's a careful balance, right, of remaining entertaining and informing enough to cause change, right? So that's kind of the fun, hard part of making this type of documentary. We know that we have to provide context, right? Like the viewer needs to know enough broadly about what's happening to know why this is important. So that's kind of the main first goal. And then we start to get into like more specifics. So like we're gonna have to start out with explaining what a short sale is, because as we go through this documentary, we don't want to lose people in the first 5 minutes and be like, well, I have no idea how we got to failures to delivers. I don't even know what they're delivering. So
Margot will be available.
We have to start very general, very broad, and then as we ground this issue within the story of the apes, we bring in secondary and tertiary points of view, right? So one point of view could be Adam Aaron and what it's like to be a CEO of a company who is being targeted by predatory short selling. One perspective might be market experts, right? Like David Lauer, him being one of the people that we're going to be interviewing in the film is extremely important to provide context and the technical reasons of how these things can work and what's wrong with them, right? He's very interested in, I won't speak for him, but people like that, and Dr. Trimbath would love to also have included with the film, like people like that, right? David Keller here at Better Markets, Tobit being part of it as well. So we have the apes, we've got CEOs, we've got long institutional players, we've got short institutional players, DD writers and mods, market experts, influencers, and policymakers, right? Those are the main perspectives that the film's going to fill out your narrative with, right? So the through line is the apes and what they're up against, and to fill all that out and provide enough context to create change. We have all these other perspectives dipping in and out as the film continues.
That sounds amazing.
That was amazing. Thank you for that. Great question, Stubbs.
Hell
Is there
yeah.
I have one or
Question?
two. That's all for me. I'll relinquish control. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I relinquish.
Let's see. Did anybody else have any other questions? Just double checking, because if not, we'll start wrapping up.
Yep. I was just going to suggest that anybody else want to come in, let us know. We'll pull you up to the trade talk stage speaker position and ask a question.
I do actually have a question. I was wondering, have you guys ever done a documentary before, or have anything other previous works that everyone could see?
Yeah, we have like a couple of short form like we did some documentary work during the pandemic. We saw like our town, Portland, is so dependent on our vibrant food scene. So we've been doing a lot of work for our local pub that we love, and then also more broadly for a couple of organizations around town. And you can see some of that short form work. I think it's Mulligan Brothers. Yeah, mulliganbrotherspdx.com. Put that there so you can see some of that as well. Like there was one campaign for legalizing cocktails to go for restaurants, and that actually ended up passing, so we were super stoked about that. And then just a couple general calls to action for people to make sure they're supporting their local businesses. But outside of that, most of my experience, managing projects of this size is at my workplace. So, I manage and keep on schedule $80 million movies, and that is insane amount of pressure and logistics and organization and crew management. So
luckily this won't cost that much.
This will not cost that much. Yeah, it's not stop motion. So it won't be quite the same. If anything, it'll be a bit simpler to actually manage the production of the film. So I guess that's the resume more or less.
Wonderful. No, I really am excited to see those. So thank you for including those.
There's one on there for the pub about how to properly pour a Guinness from a can, and you get to see my brother doing a lot of the improv, and it's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, I learned the very hard way about pouring Guinness. Apparently, you're not supposed to have 7-8 inches of foam on top of a centimeter of beer or something. I don't drink beer, so that was I got scolded for that one.
That's a no. We would scold you too.
Factory in Dublin, they teach you how to pour, and they give you
it's great.
a great little certificate. It's pretty dorky, but it's super fun and worth doing if you're in Dublin.
Yeah, next time you're in Dublin, whatever the hell you can
You got
do.
another question? You guys?
Hit it. It's
Talking about beer. What's your favorite brewery out in Portland? I loved going down there, doing all the brewery tours and whatnot. I love Hair of the Dog. What do you recommend?
Yeah, we have more breweries per capita than any city in the world, which is excellent.
And tattoo shops and strip clubs. So
Yes.
it's a great town if you like a vacation. Hood River isn't quite Portland. It's just a little bit down the Columbia River Gorge, which is amazing. But they have the best European style beers I've ever had outside of Europe. So Bream Family Brewing are amazing.
Yeah. I like Ecliptic quite a lot. They're pretty darn good. They're right off Mississippi Avenue.
Yeah, they're great.
Oh gosh, there's so many.
You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a brewery in Portland, that's for sure. And then there's a Little Beast Brewing is relatively new, and they are great. If you like Belgian style beers and old world, European style ales, check out Little Beast Brewing in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, there's another one off of 12th, right near the Firkin Tavern. Well, that's all.
Cascade Brewing for sours.
Yep. Anyway.
Oh, I have a good one. This has been apparently something trending on Twitter at least the last couple weeks. Your pineapple on pizza. For it, against it.
Okay, we're not snobs, right?
So, my wife's Italian, and when we go back to her hometown, of course, there's all the true original pizzas that are amazing, wonderful, and have their place as establishment pizzas. That being said, pineapple jalapeno pepperoni is probably my favorite pizza.
It's so good. Okay, so Finley here. I guess we should start saying names when we're talking about pizza. It's important. I don't have self-control when it comes to pizza at all. But there are like different types and times, right? If I'm getting down on a bunch of beer with my brother and watching movies and whatever, give me that pepperoni pineapple jalapeno. But if I'm like feeling like just like a normal day having dinner, I might want a nice thin margarita pizza, like a classic. So we're not snobs. We love eating too much anyway, and there's a time and a place for all of it.
Yeah. Anchovies, yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
I would eat an anchovy, caper, pineapple pizza. That sounds good.
Except chicken. Get that the hell off my pizza. I'm not into it.
Barbecue chicken pizza's good sometimes.
Yeah, once in a while if you're feeling a little...
If it's there, I'll eat it. I'd be stoked, but I'm never going to order it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we like pizza.
I wasn't the only one that was weird that said I like pineapple on my pizza.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
See,
Quit being snobs, everybody. Just eat it.
Sweet, sour, spicy. It's great.
So you got to mix it up. Like I'm an Indian. Obviously, it's a dead giveaway. I am Indian, so I like a flavor, and I like a mixture of flavors. So spicy and sweet go really well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do.
And to be fair, in Italy, one of the more popular pizzas I saw like younger folks eating had potatoes and like wurstel on it, which is pretty much hot dog.
Yeah, it's like...
Oh yeah, you can get all snobby you want about pizza, but I mean, I'm sure they don't do that in Napoli, but
Italians are putting potatoes on that shit.
hot dogs. Dispiace gli italiani.
Great question, Kenna.
Vibrant debate.
Yeah. Any other questions? If not, I think we could wrap it up and give you guys some time back. This was fantastic to have you guys on.
Thank you guys so much. That was amazing.
Yeah, this was awesome.
I would love to have you guys back again, and we're here. You guys are welcome anytime to come into this server.
Yeah, we'd love to come back and talk about progress and give you updates as we work on the film.
Awesome.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love it.
The main point of like me wanting you guys to come out is because I've seen on Twitter, I know I've seen it, you've seen it, people are a little confused about the doc, and I wanted you guys to clear some things up and everyone to see what you guys are about.
Yeah, we haven't seen much confusion at all. So send those our way, and we'll happily respond to anyone with questions or confusion.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say...
It was just minor. It was like maybe like a couple. But
Okay. Feel free to send them our way, but by and large, I think the reception, like you guys have all been great, and people have been more than anything really excited to just have this story being told.
I'm super excited, man.
I will say that one of your tweets last night, it was like only like a 45-minute old tweet, was actually part of a deja vu I had. Pretty creepy, but
Well, which tweet was it?
Yeah.
it was the one talking about how everyone's wanting to help their mothers or their parents or something. It was late last night. But that was definitely like I was scrolling through and I was just totally having a deja vu moment. And I was like, well, at least we're all on the right track here. So something's going
Very least
right.
on the same page.
Yes.
In fact, I think there was 3 of us that had deja vu
Yeah.
moment in the last like 2 days, and we're like, okay,
Something-
this is
Well, it could be this week. We're still above 15 right now, so you never know.
For sure.
never know.
Yeah, it's forming a nice wedge there.
Yeah.
Well, again, guys, thank you so much, Finley and Quinn, just to coming on over here and talking to us so openly and with so much passion. And it was such a great conversation. And we can't wait for you guys to come back again and talk to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, it's been great.
And all of our listeners on YouTube, Discord, everywhere. Thanks for joining us, guys. And I think we will see you guys again very, very, very soon.
Right on.
Many more to come. Many more to
A lot
come.
of content. Yep. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thanks, guys.